Hello, I'm Mary V. Today, let's talk about how to make big improvements when you're playing your violin. So I remember I was quite a young player and I was in a little orchestra and we were performing a completely new piece, a modern piece. It involved a lot of counting and no one knew how it went. But there was a leader, a lady that I actually knew very well, and I was sitting beside her. And during the rehearsals, everything was going well, and we learnt this piece. And when it came to the performance, she fell apart. She was so frightened. She was overwhelmed, and I was astonished as soon as I realised what was going on. And I sort of stepped up. I mean, I was the number 2 player. And I just kept my cool, kept counting. And I realised that I had a lot of strength, inner strength, to not be panic, not to sort of catch the panic along with her, and to lead and to be okay, to be steady and not to lose it. Now, I'm telling you this story not to tell you how marvellous I am and how brilliant I was, but so that everyone has experiences like that in music, when something happens to make you discover something that's really strong inside yourself, something that's there, something that's steady, that you might not have consciously realised. And I've had quite a few of these along the way when, no, I didn't panic, or I was able to keep going when things are happening around. And you do develop a lot of strength inside through your experiences. And it becomes very conscious. And I was talking in a previous film about being in the zone, and how you develop the ability to be aware of a lot of things at one time when you're playing the violin. It's a skill that you develop. You're aware of the audience, you're aware of the music, you're aware of what the other musicians are doing, you're aware of what you're doing, what you're thinking, what you're feeling, and it just becomes more of a global awareness. But until you get to that point, if you're practicing and you find that you're thinking about the left hand, or you're thinking about the technicalities of the right hand, and you never consider what's happening inside or what your responses are, it's something that is really missing, that you have to kind of catch up on that. That has to be part of getting better at the violin, and it can really, really hold you back. For example, if you're doing a high shift and you're tightening up, and you keep practicing and you get the shift quite well, and you haven't ever looked inside to see the causes of why you're tightening up. The causes are kind of usually pretty obvious, that you're scared of it, or you don't think you can do it, or so that examination of the reasons why this is happening, if something is going wrong or you need to practice it, is just as a big part of practice and music making and being a violinist as the physical exercise. In fact, it's quite possible that it's actually more important because the negativity, unexplored negativity, will hit you every single time you perform. It will hit you, just like my colleague, it hit her, because when it came to the audience and the actual occasion, she didn't have faith in herself. I mean, she could play, she was a good player, but certain things crumbled because she wasn't actually looking at them. She wasn't examining them as they were coming up. The psychology, the inner processes is incredibly important as a violinist to grow your strength. And the point is that if it's unexamined, it may or may not come out. You're less secure, actually, because you don't know really what's going on. So you've got to get it together and explore all parts of you. And once you get comfortable with that, looking at that, it becomes more second nature. So when you do feel fluttery and nervous, you have got tremendous contact and awareness of a strength inside that really gets you through. And because unexamined phenomenon that happens within you is a sort of free radicals that can happen or not happen. It makes you feel insecure. And insecurity is the enemy of playing the violin. I mean, it's amazing how secure you can feel, because as soon as you look at the way you're feeling, it's not there to be judged, it's there to be aware of. That's all it is. Just be aware of it. And as soon as you can be aware of it and connect it to something that's happening in the violin, you're halfway there. You're actually halfway there. So that you can practice and be aware of what's going on inside. And let's just have a look at that. Supposing it's really negative. Supposing you're saying to yourself, I can't play this, I'll never be able to play it. I've not done enough practice, I actually hate this piece, or, negative messages. I'm no good, I'll never be any good. Why is everyone else much better than me? I'm rubbish, We all do that to ourselves. But we learn as violinists to stop doing that, because it really stops you from getting where you want to go. I mean, sometimes I feel that the only difference between myself and a really fantastic soloist is that sometimes I can do it, but not every time. You need to explore how to do it more often. Soloists can do it every time. They've got this tremendous growth factor within them, where they've actually faced the elements within themselves that stop them from doing it. So they face that and it dissolves, and they are able to sort of hold their their musicality up to scrutiny, and it works every time. So that's the idea of it, and it's a fantastic goal to sort of feel, to actually feel this fantastic security and creativity within you that's absolutely boundless and endless, actually. So another thing that really gets in the way of playing, of your own playing, is being incredibly competitive, as if how well other people are playing is a reflection on you, and possibly pushing them down, in order to boost yourself. It's not true, it doesn't boost you. And you're sabotaging your ability to work with these people and make music. So that's a pretty harsh thing to discover about yourself, that you're being competitive. You can't make music if you're being competitive. You can't make music, not properly, if you're boosting yourself, because in music you can't really get away with it, because you can't be better than you actually are. I mean, you can be inspired. I mean, sometimes I feel I can play really, really well, but not every time, okay? So that's the feeling that most of us have. Oh my God, if I could just do that every time, that was great, I was so relaxed. you know, I captured something there. I know I got it inside then. That gives me tremendous inspiration and hope, right? And my attitude is, it might happen next time, you know. That's the hope and the absolute dream of music, you know. But stay open. Don't. If you play it really beautifully the first time and then you try it again and it's not so good, what do? Punish yourself? No, no. You never lose your core of what you can do, because you've just got to stay open. That's what music demands. So there you have it. You know, the things inside us are helping us or not helping us. But the way to actually deal with it is to look at them. Look at them, and just if they're negative, try to let them go and replace them with much, much better, more helpful things. And I think no one needs to be told what is unhelpful and helpful. I think we all actually know. The unexamined things that happen are the very things that stop us from becoming the violinist that we really want to be. So there we are. I hope something that I've said has helped you, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.